Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between lush green hills, there lived a grumpy old man named Mr. Grumble. He was known throughout the village for his sour attitude and quick temper. No one could remember a time when Mr. Grumble had smiled or spoken a kind word. He would often complain about everything: the weather, the noise of children playing, the way people walked, and even the chirping of birds. Despite his bad temper, the villagers always treated Mr. Grumble with respect and kindness. They would greet him every morning, offer him fresh fruits and vegetables from their gardens, and invite him to village events, even though he always refused. One day, a young boy named Tommy moved to the village with his family. Tommy was curious and full of life, and he was determined to befriend Mr. Grumble. The other villagers warned him about the old man's gruff nature, but Tommy was undeterred. One sunny afternoon, Tommy decided to visit Mr. Grumble's small cottage. He knocked on the door, and when Mr. Grumble opened it, he scowled at the sight of the boy. Mr. Grumble said, "What do you want?" Tommy said, "I brought you fresh-picked apples, sir." Mr. Grumble glared at the boy and muttered, "I don't need your apples. Now go away." But Tommy was persistent. He left the basket on the doorstep and said, "I'll leave them here. I hope you like them." The next day, Tommy returned, this time with a bouquet of wildflowers. Mr. Grumble tried to shoo him away again, but Tommy simply left the flowers on the doorstep and wished him a good day. This continued for several days, with Tommy bringing small gifts: a loaf of bread, a jar of honey, a handmade card, each time receiving the same gruff response from Mr. Grumble. But something unexpected began to happen. Mr. Grumble, who had grown so used to his own bitterness, started to feel a strange warmth in his heart. He found himself looking forward to Tommy's visits, though he would never admit it. The boy's kindness was slowly melting the old man's hardened heart. One day, when Tommy came in with a small potted plant, Mr. Grumble didn't frown or shout. Instead, he said, "Why do you keep bringing me things? Don't you realize I'm just a grumpy old man?" Tommy looked up at him with innocent eyes and said, "Because I believe everyone deserves kindness, even if they don't ask for it. And I think you might be happier if you let someone be your friend." Mr. Grumble was taken aback by the boy's words. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. For the first time in years, he felt tears welling up in his eyes. He realized how lonely and bitter he had become, pushing everyone away with his bad temper. Slowly, Mr. Grumble began to change. He started to greet the villagers when they passed by, even if it was just a nod or a grunt.
He attended a village gathering for the first time in years and found himself enjoying the company of others. And every day, he looked forward to Tommy's visits, no longer just accepting the boy's gifts, but also engaging in conversation.
As time passed, Mr. Grumble became a beloved member of the village. The people who once feared his anger now cherished his presence. The village was no longer just a place he lived; it became his home, filled with friends and laughter. Mr. Grumble had learned that no matter how old or grumpy one might become, it is never too late to change. Kindness has the power to heal even the most hardened hearts, and sometimes, all it takes is one person who refuses to give up on you. And so, the grumpy old man in the village became a symbol of hope, showing that with a little kindness and patience, even the grumpiest of hearts can be transformed.